Chapter 17, The Rich Young Master and the Poor Young Lady 17. Diana was right, the food in this restaurant was indeed delicious, especially today the head chef was still James. After drinking a cup of sweet red apple flower tea, Diana gently breathed a sigh of relief. Although the food was delicious, but there was always someone constantly putting food into her bowl, it was still very stressful. Augustus, I'm full. Diana stretched out a finger, poking Augustus' arm, her expression innocent. He saw her like this and couldn't help but chuckle. You usually have to eat 3 bowls of rice, today you only ate 2 bowls. She heard that and the corner of her mouth twitched. Before I came here, I ate a bowl of wine-brewed dumplings at home. Also, how do you know how much rice I eat? She remembered that in front of him, she was still very restrained. He coughed lightly, touched his nose, and said in a low voice, Charles said. On the other side, James saw the two people interacting and was a bit stunned. When did you two have such a good relationship? He had been very close to Diana because of the film. At that time she probably didn't know Augustus yet. How come after just over a month, the two people's relationship had become so intimate? I'm wooing her. Augustus reached out again and pushed a bowl of plain soup in front of her. It's too sweet, drink some plain soup. She slightly disliked it and reached out to push it away. No need, I just like sweet. James looked at Augustus, then looked at Diana, then at Letitia who had been quietly eating, and then slowly opened his mouth. President Graham, little Grant, are you serious? Augustus glanced at him unhappily. Do you have any objections? No. James hurriedly waved his hand, and tried to say, it's just that, didn't I hear that little Grant and your cousin want to get married? Who told you this? Augustus frowned. Although the Graham and Grant families wanted to get married, many people knew, but it wasn't to the extent that it could be spread to James's side. James seemed to have thought of something, and said seriously, this matter spread very widely. I thought that everyone was sure before releasing the news. Diana also couldn't help but raise her eyebrows. Someone intentionally spread it out. She turned her gaze to Letitia. Letitia, did you also know about this matter early on? Letitia at this moment also felt uneasy in her heart. She thought back a bit, then nodded. Before at that banquet, I saw Kenzo's friend vaguely brought up a few sentences. At that time, although I had some doubts in my heart, I also didn't quite understand what was going on. Later he brought me to meet his friends. Only then did I hear them talk about the marriage between the two families. Diana lowered her eyes, indifferently said, Kenzo's friends are mostly from the aristocratic family circle, but they are all some debauched. Perhaps they accidentally said something and it was spread out. Augustus felt that there was something not quite right about this. He thought about it deeply and pondered for a moment. Looking at Diana, his expression was serious as never before. Luna, this is probably a plot against the Graham family. No matter what, I don't want you to get caught up in it. In a few days, I will hold a press conference and announce the news of our engagement. Diana at this moment was a little speechless, her eyes were a little hazy. 2333, this shouldn't be Augustus trying to force me to decide, right? 2333 landed in front of her, saying, Host, according to my observation and research, your speculation is very likely true. Luna Augustus saw that she hadn't regained her senses, a little worriedly touched her forehead. She sighed softly, it's up to you. Chapter 18, The Rich Young Master and the Poor Young Lady 18. James was probably the first time seeing his poker face boss reveal this kind of crazy happy expression. After hearing Diana's slightly embarrassed reply, Augustus immediately hugged her tightly in his arms. When he saw everything, James felt that although he didn't make his goddess a love dinner today, being able to see this kind of once-in-a-century wonder was worth it. That, Miss Fox. James leaned closer and lowered his voice. How did you eat? If you're done, let's go out for a bit. As an excellent worker, he felt that he needed to create a good dating environment for boss. Letitia was always understanding. She nodded obediently, then followed James silently out of the private room. Good guy, this is the first time I've seen Augustus this kid so excited. Just walked out the door, James couldn't help but sigh. Although Mr. Graham seems a bit. Well, but he and Miss Grant are still very well matched. Letitia thought for a moment, then said seriously. In her opinion, Luna Grant's beautiful, gentle, and kind young lady matching Kenzo Graham was indeed a bit wronged. Moreover, she had just heard that Luna was a very smart businesswoman, and her film investments were highly regarded by the industry. Such a person, probably only Augustus, could be a match for her. Before she still unilaterally regarded Luna as a love rival, now thinking back, it was really funny. In the private room, 2333 flew up and down. At first glance it had a bit of anger to vomit blood appearance, but the words just out of its mouth that was electronic sound that did not fluctuate at all. Diana was held in Augustus's arms, she lazily lifted her eyelids. 2333 pulled out the interface, the progress on the surface was already 85. She silently rolled her eyes. 2333 stopped at the tip of her nose in front, serious and serious. Regardless of whether it was 2333 or Augustus, there was always a way to make her speechless. She was a little upset, opened her mouth and bit Augustus on the shoulder, and gritted her teeth fiercely. Little Luna? Augustus gently let go of her. Why are you so unhappy? Is it because we want to get engaged? She shook her head and sighed. How could you not know? How? He claimed to know her very well, but sometimes he still couldn't guess her thoughts. She pushed him away, grabbed her bag and stood up, looking down at him with an arrogant expression. You thought it yourself. If you can't think of it, then just get engaged yourself. Then she turned around and left. He stood up and wanted to chase after her, but was worried that he would only further anger her, so he had to stop his steps. It was funny to say, thinking that he had been chased and flattered since he was young, but now he lost to a little girl. Moreover, this little girl's temperament was very unyielding to discipline, and he liked it however he saw it, as if he was poisoned. However, why was she so angry? Women's emotions were like needles at the bottom of the sea, and this saying was not wrong at all. It seemed like he had to learn from Kenzo's experience.